Now, underneath the tarot reading, underneath the tarot cards or underneath the deck here is the underlying energy, which is the Five of Wands. So inner turmoil, conflict. Why? Because of the Emperor. Control issues. But knowing your power too, this is more of like an ego situation here. Okay, this is about one's ego, and when every time I see the Emperor coming up, and with the Five of Wands, it's like somebody's dealing with ego situations. Maybe someone's having a hard time adjusting to changes. Adjusting to things that may not be, you know, that may have to do with someone else's, desires and wants and structures. Being flexible in that sense. Now, I will do want to kind of start, before I get into it, I do want to let you guys know the reason why I'm breathing so hard is not because I'm like, oh my god, I'm so annoyed with you guys. I literally am having a hard time breathing at this moment. It's not because anxiety or anything like that. I'm still having a little time adjusting to the air that's, where I'm at, being a mile high, but, and I'm talking so fast I forget to breathe myself. So if I do sigh and I do puff a little bit, I do apologize deeply. It's just that I'm having a hard time breathing. But you know me. Back into this. Full speed ahead, Gemini moon style. Let's get into it. We're going to be looking to decide first. Feel free to pick the side that resonates with you guys the most. And remember, the side that you don't pick is your soulmate. So go ahead and apply that to them, that it fits accordingly. Don't force it, guys, if it don't fit. But here we are with this person here with their mindset going into this relationship with the Ace of Wands. I like it. They see this as a new beginning, taking action, ready to get started. They feel the pump of energy here. This is passion, and they're able to express that right now. I think they're feeling that expression here. Now, the other person here, how they're going into this relationship is the Four of Cups. Now, we all know that the Four of Cups talks about feeling emotionally stuck. Not really sure of, what they want or how to get out of the situation that they're in. Basically being that they're not feeling very satisfied with their relationships or with their life period, and they're trying to figure out how to get out of it. But the way they keep going about figuring it out is by looking at situations that are presented to them rather than looking at how they want to feel, which is obviously why the advice is talking about shifting your focus to that Ace of Cups that's behind the Four of Cups person, and to figure out what you want, because the Ace of Cups is a new beginning. It's a spiritual growth card, but it talks about, it talks about, what does it talk about? I'm trying to figure out the best way to say it. It talks about, going after your heart's desire, not a heart's desire that somebody else picked for you. It's yours. So you got to connect with you. You got to connect with your heart. So whoever this is, they got to connect with how they feel. And I feel like the thing is, it's kind of hard for this person right now is that I think they're kind of emotionally bored anyway, emotionally kind of congested or constipated, to say the very least, and they just want to change. They don't want the same old stuff. They want something brand new. And I think that regarding this relationship, this relationship has provided them with a new cup to offer. And even though they are against their own, doubts and reasons to reject the offer, I feel like they're definitely taking it to see how it is. I feel like this person's seeing this relationship as an opportunity to get them out of their stuck situation. But of course, it's always going to go back to them picking the cup, right? Them figuring out what they want to feel. And I think ultimately that this person has actually already, shifted their focus, looked at that fourth cup, and honestly focused on what they want to feel for this new beginning, which is obviously why they are so prompt or so willing to take a leap of faith, take that leap, take that step over the edge, right? That risky business step. So they are starting a new beginning. That's why they're presenting themselves to you, to the other person, whoever this person is, whether you, the other person. This person's taking a risk and doing the things that obviously they would totally probably be really nervous about. But they look like they're taking a leap of faith. They look like they're giving it a shot. They're coming in with a blank slate, open-minded and everything. Now, that may be the situation that we got here with the Five of Wands, because Five of Wands doesn't necessarily just have to mean conflict with people and having, confrontations with them. It's also inner turmoil and inner conflict as well, like dealing with your own inner beliefs, right? And fighting with yourself about certain decisions that you have to make, but it can be intense, but eventually it does get you to where you want to be. You do end up figuring out, what works for you and who you are, what you want to go for, and what makes you the most unique, and making those steps accordingly. Okay, so even though we got the Five of Wands here to talk about, there's a lot of change, a lot of intense changes, and there's definitely a hell of a lot of energy going into it. I do feel like there is like this desire to kind of come in with fresh new energy. Now, this other person's doing the exact same thing, but they feel like honestly there is a lot more risk than there probably, not necessarily than there is a reward, but this is a situation where they have the opportunity to experience something completely different. They're putting themselves out there, right? With the Seven of Swords coming up, they're putting themselves out there. Same with the Fool. But for me, the Seven of Swords is definitely taking the risk because they are in the dark. They truly don't know what the hell they're getting themselves into. They just know that, hey, this is exciting, this is new, this is fresh. I'm ready to start something. I'm ready to do something different. I'm ready to put all my eggs in a basket, because this person is legitimately putting all their eggs in a basket. And even though this person is doing the same thing and coming at it with a different mindset, coming at this with, a little bit more of a carefree sort of attitude, in my opinion, they're kind of being, open with, this experience. This person is coming in like knowing and feeling like they're taking the hugest risk ever, and it may be slightly uncomfortable, or quite slightly to very uncomfortable for them, but I feel like they see this as worth it because they're obviously doing it, right? They're doing it because they see that it's obviously worth it. The risk may be worth the reward, which is why this is all happening. But as we look at this reading, right, we're going to see that the reason why they have the Six of Swords, the risk taker card, as their presentation, how they're being seen, how they feel about themselves, how they feel they see themselves, right, as well as how they think about the relationship. They got the Ace of Wands, seeing this as a new beginning, passionately excited, ready to take action, ready to make something happen with this, because obviously this is a new love, this is a new relationship starting together, and this could be a relationship. This could be new love within a current connection that you have with this person, right? This is new feelings starting over, starting blank, right? And which is why this person may be thinking, well, I have a lot of doubts about this relationship here because we've already done this before, but hey, I'll give it another chance. This person could be trying to do this all over again. They're like looking at it, comparing to the other times that you guys have been together, or maybe the other times that they've been with someone else, and they're still willing to take the leap of faith because, again, even against their doubts and stuff, they're willing to see how it's going to change. I think they're willing to see how it can go because they know how they want to feel. This time, instead of focusing solely on what they could get the same of. You know what I mean? So the reason why this person is coming up with all this energy anyway, right, is because of the Page of Wands. A small offer, probably some news, but this is a step in the direction, and it looks like it's very lighthearted, right? This looks like it's really lighthearted. A lot, looks like it's going to be fun for them. They want to have more fun. They want to have, be more youthful and take more youthful action. They want to enjoy their energy that they've got. They want to express that. They want to express that in relationship with you, or they want to express that in love. They want to take a totally creative approach, take an opportunity down a different creative venture, a different creative avenue, because of maybe the things that they've learned from a past experience here, because where you guys are coming from, what brought you guys together was judgment. So this is an opportunity where you guys did have experience from, and maybe you guys have thought maybe this opportunity may not happen again, and y'all took it. Right? Or this may be that you guys have experience with something very similar, but because you've grown and matured and done a lot of growth of yourselves on your own, you guys are able to implement what you guys are able, what you've learned along that time into this current relationship, to see if there's any potential for true growth, see how these things go, right? It's a shot in the dark. There's always a risk to take with it because there's no way of telling absolutely how things are going to go, but you're definitely going to do the opposite of what you did, beforehand, because judgment's coming up. Taking a whole new approach to this, Virgos, and you guys are totally either skeptical about it but willing to take a chance, or ready to go. Okay, something that you guys have been really wanting to do. So I do feel like this person is seeing this as an opportunity to, to definitely go a different direction. This is a risk, yes, because it could totally turn out the ways that they've always, how it's ended before, but they're willing to take that chance by, and by implementing what they've learned in a different direction here, right? To be going in a different direction with this relationship. Now, the other person, like I was saying, right, the reason why I felt like this person was definitely coming from a space where they were shifting their focus from comparing to, looking at the situation from the stuff that they've experienced to figuring out what they want now and taking the risk is because of the Ace of Cups. They have figured out what they want to feel. This is an opportunity for emotional growth for them as well. So they're taking the leap of faith, maybe apathetic, maybe not really enthused. I shouldn't say not enthused about getting in a relationship, because I don't think that's the case. I think they're like, you see everything as blasé, not really interesting, not really, romantic, and that's for or cool or interesting. It's not, and that's for everything. It's not just a relationship, but I think they're willing to take the relationship to help them figure out what they want to feel, so that way they can go for it. Because I think right now, either they already know what they're going for, and they're trying to shift their focus and keep themselves from comparing, which is why explains completely why the Five of Wands is here, or they're having a hard time. They're having a hard time figuring out what they want to feel, so therefore they're taking a leap of faith to figure it out. Either way, everybody's taking a soulmate journey with this, and they're going to, both of you guys are going to improve and to grow spiritually, right? You guys are going to grow spiritually in your own ways. But the challenge here is the Page of Pentacles. Right? The challenge here is the tedious hard work that's going to come after this. The challenge is seeing the details. The challenge is committing to it. Because I think everybody's a little skeptical about taking that leap of faith and committing to something. Taking a leap of faith and dating the person is one thing, but to commit is another. So I feel like, honestly, there's no rush with this. Nobody's saying that you have to commit, but I do think there is a new love that is definitely worth exploring and definitely is worth, figuring out how you guys feel about it. And this is an opportunity, of course, that you guys definitely didn't let slip by. So I definitely think that the best that you can do, especially the best way to kind of take advantage of it, is by figuring out what your value systems are. If this is of value to you right now, what do you guys want in regards to your relationships now for yourselves? Not necessarily to commit to a relationship, not to necessarily get married, look at getting married and have kids soon. None of that stuff. But really just to figure out, what do y'all want? What do you guys want to feel? What do you guys want to experience in your relationship with this person? Ultimately, right? Not a bad thing, ultimately, right? Because you gotta figure out a way somehow. And I don't think anybody's going to be hurt about, going into this with their own intentions, trying to figure out who they are, figure out what they want to feel, figure out their own value system, come with new boundaries, etc. So, let's take a look at the Whispers of Love and see what the hell is going on. Crazy though, right, guys? Crazy. Alright, and the card that you guys have for this week from the Whispers of Love is True Love. This is a once-in-a-lifetime love. So it's good that y'all taking a leap of faith, because I think you guys can read the situation very well. It's like, hell yeah, this is a relationship I could definitely get behind. This is a connection or a feeling I could definitely, I could definitely stand behind and see where this goes. So, true love is here, family. Take the leap, take the steps, and trust yourselves and continue to grow as people, as individuals, and as a couple, as a relationship. Of course, remember, the relationship is a separate entity. You guys put the energy into it. You guys put all your 50% in that basket together. It's not like, not to detach it or make it seem alien from you guys personally, because of course it's definitely affecting the both of you in a very intimate way, in a very personal way. But if you guys continue to take the relationship from the standpoint of not just what you get out of it, but the healthy balances, the boundaries that you guys can put up for yourselves and the relationship, you guys will be pretty swell and set. But this seems like a brand new learning experience for all of y'all. I think this is alright, considering that there's a lot of changes, it's intense, but I feel like the challenges that come up, they're definitely not as bad as you think. But I'm gonna let y'all go.